Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. This is Deb Holland, and we are beginning our teaching series on my book, Leaders, My Leaders, Your Journey to Awesomeness. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here today. All right, today we're going to talk about the introduction. We're going to talk about why are we talking about this. This is a really important topic to me because leaders wield enormous power over other people's lives. The outcomes for good leaders and the consequences for bad leaders can end up being very different. But it can take forever. Forever it feels when you're in the middle of a bad situation in a bad work environment for consequences to come to leaders who have abused their position and abused the people under their command or taken advantage of or exploited their stakeholders, their shareholders, whatever the situation may be. So the outcomes for good leaders are, if your heart is right and you're trying your best and you make a mistake, well, you've made a mistake, but you're still going to overall have a really good result, a really good outcome for your people. And that is you are continually investing in a process of growth, and you are doing everything you can to help them improve, help the organization improve. It doesn't, when we talk about leadership, you guys, I mean it very broadly, whether you're a parent, a spouse, whether you're coaching a ball team, running a Fortune 500 organization, if you're working for the government, private sector, nonprofits, does not matter. If you're doing something vocationally on the side, that's awesome. Leadership is something that all of us can develop. It's a skill that can be learned. And yeah, there are some of us that we're just kind of hardwired that way. We're built that way to protect and provide and lead and guide other people. So that's cool, but leadership, the mechanics of it really are skills that can be learned, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this series. For any of you who have ever had your leadership taken to task, even if your career is in a complete shambles, you're in some kind of trouble, whatever's going on, change is only one good decision away. I'm going to say that again because it bears repeating. Change for you is one good decision away. A lot of people end up stuck in the past because they say this to themselves. They say, I've made such a mess of things already that there isn't anything I can do. Well, yeah, absolutely there is everything you can do, and that new everything, the new normal that you can build begins with the one decision to say, the past is in the past, I'm going to learn how to get this right, and then you move forward from there. It's all that any of us can do, leaders or not, personally, professionally, it's all that any of us can do is start here and move there. If that way was not a good deal for us and the people that we care about and the people under our command. To me, leadership is a sacred responsibility. It's way more than a job description. It's way more than any kind of prestige or anything that comes along, the perks of the position, if you will. It's a sacred responsibility to achieve missions, to grow teams, and to develop people. And we have to take that very seriously because I believe, and I've seen this borne out in some very painful ways for other people, other leaders that I've known and really cared about and loved, they end up messing up and they end up having all of that abuse that they did to other people come back to them in ways that they didn't expect. The consequences were far worse than anyone expected, and it's a really sad deal when someone who could have been amazing, just incredible, if they could have just gotten one or two things under control, when that person ends up having their leadership just ripped out from underneath them and their life is forever changed. We've got to get this right, guys. All of us that are leaders, we've got to get this right. And to me, that begins with acknowledging that what we're doing is so vital in people's lives and families and marriages and homes and communities that it's on us to really do our best. And that's what this entire book is about. There should never be abuse or neglect of power, ever. And those are two very different things. When I say those things, abuse of power is very intentional. It's very directional. It's usually intended to harm someone that the leader sees as some sort of a threat. Someone who's exposing something they want to keep in the shadows. Someone who is just naturally better at certain things than they are. The list could go on and on. Most of us could make a lengthy list about qualities of bad leaders. So the abuse is kind of an action that's taken, and the neglect, in my definition, is an action that's not taken. These are the leaders that hang out, they sit in their office behind a closed door, they sit on their butt, they don't do much, they whine about how much they hate it, they complain that they just want to get to retirement, and they will not make a decision if you pay them. And they are being paid to make decisions, and they still won't make them. So, to me, that's neglect of power. We're going to cover that in some detail a little bit later on in the book. For all of us, the clock of accountability is ticking, and we really have one of two choices. We can either decide that we're going to become awesome, and if you're going to do leadership, guys, do it right. If you're going to do it anyway, learn how to be awesome. Be a leader among leaders. Be a leader within and of your own generation. And be a leader among leaders in your organization, whatever it may be, your home, your sports team, your church, your club, your workplace, doesn't matter. Wherever you have been blessed with a leadership opportunity, do everything in your power to become awesome at it, because it's worth it and your people are counting on you. I'll see you guys next time. We'll get the teaching series up and running. In the meantime, come on over and see me at my website, debhollandlcsw.com. And from there, you can link to my Facebook page where I have new stuff every single day. A lot of it focused on leaders and how to become the absolute best that you were created to be. You might surprise yourself with how amazing you can turn out to be when you really put your mind to it. Take good care, friends. I'll see you next time.